Yes. Good evening, Arcade and all that. Welcome along. How you doing? Yay. Right, and that's about as Scottish as this show is going to get. I'm not doing any of that. It is Burns Night. It's not something I massively celebrate. I do have a certain amount of Scottish heritage, but what I do have is some Scottish beers. This is a completely unplanned show for a Saturday night. We haven't been live on a Saturday night on Vasco Disco for a long, long time. So here is a Saturday night show. Not the usual kind of Saturday night chaos, but my usual drinking beers, talking about beers kind of thing. And welcome along if you're watching as well from wherever you are. Mr. Wilson, good evening again. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I say unplanned. I've been sort of planning to do something on Burns Night for years now. Because I do like Scottish beers, I always say that after probably Yorkshire, Scotland is one of the most amount of beers by area that I've got in over the last 5 years of doing live shows on YouTube. So I have Scottish beers. I don't mind Scottish beers. Not that that's specifically a thing, but yeah. Although at the moment I don't actually have as many as I have done over the last 5 years, and it's mostly Vault City. But I've got a few beers, so straight in with. Oh, I haven't even set up my links. There we go. Straight in. Beer number one, please. Yes. And this is a little can to start off with, a little Scottish IPA called Wally. Those of you who do the old Beer 52 thing might note that that's where it's come out of. Because, as I say, I was trying to cancel my Beer 52 boxes out of Scotland, out of Edinburgh. But when it was a box of Scottish beers and there was some good sounding stuff in it, I kind of forgot to cancel it. And I got this one in, so I thought we'd have a little wee chat about it. Scottish beers, where's Geordie? Oh, yeah, he should pop in maybe. He never pops into my live, so. Hey, Stu, how you doing? Yeah, a little bit of Scottish talk and a very Scotsman, Stu from the Lager Logs. Thanks for popping in. Have you got a beer on? Have you got a Scottish beer on? Anybody else got a beer on a Saturday night? Oh, good work. Yeah, good work. Yeah, let's do a quick photograph. Thank you for the reminder, David. I didn't get round to doing me Thursday night beer reviews because I was at work on Friday and I just never got round to it. So let's do these. I'll pop them up at some point on the old Instagram. This is what I think is a vaguely appropriate glass. I don't know. It's a sort of dimple glass. It is actually a Czech lager glass, which is odd for being a dimple, but there it is. It looks good, and it's only 330 cans, so I did think that will do. Most as appropriate as I can find. I did think about coming straight out of the blocks with some Burns Night poetry, but so that might a bit of performance poetry, but I haven't lined it up properly, so I'll just do the photos and talk about the beer. I think that's better. There we go. She's been to Winton. Fair play. It's not a brewery I know about at all, although I've seen the name Wally about. So I'll have a look at the website in a bit because I haven't really researched this, or I don't know. So it's not a brewery I've heard that much about. I'm going to be hopping onto the whiskey and ginger ale. Fair play. Colonel Dry Stout. Fair play. No idea which one specifically tasting good. This week's guest to take away at the Hogs. Okay. So the Colonel Dry Stout. No, it was the London Stout I had on keg the other day, and I thought it was exemplary. To be fair, I know they got a various stouts there at Colonel to try. I have a feeling Peely Wally means something. It sounds like a Scottish expression. I'm going to look that up in a minute. Anyway, so what we got in the glass? 4.5. I'd probably call it a session IPA, but they've called it an IPA. Close to the line, but, whatever. Quite light, lemony coloured. Nose is blocked up, having coming out from the cold, so I'm not going to get any aroma. Nope, nothing there, but perfectly decent looking session IPA. Cheers, enjoy the beers, and happy Burns night to everybody. Aye. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of there's a good solid pale malt base, a little bit of kind of citrus, a little bit of lemon on the back end. It's nothing overly massively hoppy. Yeah, man. Cheers. All of the beers are Scottish Shamtoes is normally explained on the tin. I will, of course, get onto that in due course. I think there's a good chance of this one actually being in date as well, because I think the Scottish box was only like October or November. Well, let's have a look then. Save me Googleizing it. Pronounced Peely Wally. That's what it says. It says phonetically, so that's how you pronounce it. I think I do quite a good Scottish accent, but I went insult all the Scotsmen looking, well, just you, by doing the whole show in Scottish dialect. It says our IPA is refreshing, carefully hopped, good, and delicious, with citrus and floral notes from the Simcoe and Centennial hops. The flavours dance around your mouth like a Scotsman with a wasp up his kill. Well, that's good. They tell you the hops, which I was banging on about the other day. Winton Brewery, drink, blether, and be happy. Well, I am blethering on tonight. Blether, I believe, means chat, tell stories. This has been crafted to be enjoyed. Peely Wally, fresher than a cold wind up your kilt. But no actual description of what Peely Wally is. 4.5%. Sorry, I should have said, of course, it's got it on the can, Slauncher. So I'm none the wiser to what Peely Wally is, but the beer itself, yeah, it's a jolly decent sessionable IPA. I think it's more session IPA than a full bore IPA, only 4.5. But yeah, it's got a really nice, almost sherbet lemon kind of edge to it, which works for me. As I say, with a hop Centennial, and see, Simcoe is one I always find that goes in. For fuck's sake, that goes in beers that makes it a kind of goes towards that kind of hoppy, grapefruity edge. So I have a love-hate relationship with Simcoe. Centennial, I don't know too much about, but the balance they've got here, along with the malt profile, really nice, drinkable little beer for a Saturday night. It's kind of good because I had a couple of beers after work, so I've had me quota for the night, such as it is. Right, I'm going to find out what Peely Wally is. What do we reckon? I think Stu will probably tell us, but I'm going to find out. Oh, here we go. Oh dear. Not sure what's happened, but the banner stopped, so I don't know if you can hear us, to be fair. No, everything's frozen. Great. Well done. What happened there? Oh, here. Good. There we go. All right. Yeah, we have Urban Dictionary. Off colour, pale and ill-looking. He's a bit Peely Wally this morning. There you go. Yeah, she is. Oh, right, we're on. I don't know what happened. Everything kind of froze, but there you go. If you are looking a little pale or ill, look at a little peely Wally. Fair play. Well, obviously appropriate for the beer. It is kind of fairly pale. I wouldn't say it was ill looking. It was looking perfectly fine, nicely carbonated. Lots of froth there still clinging to the glass, so and it tastes good, so superb. Yeah, we're back. So I'm just glad someone's paying attention. Thank you, Stu. You're very kind. Yeah, so there it is on the brewery website. They actually do 440s. This is obviously a 330, especially for a beer 52. It does actually give that description there on the website. As you see in Scots, Peely Wally literally means pale, like the skin tone of a Scotsman on the first day of his 2-week all-inclusive in Gran Canaria. You love it. So let's have a quick look, see what else they got. Oh, they have got a shop. Well, that's where they are. Anybody spot that? Anybody know their Scottish geography? A place called Haddington. Lothian, so fairly south. Oh, there we go, just outside of Edinburgh, Western Pans. Oh, there we go. Well, you'd think my Scottish geography isn't as good as it probably could be, but another one just along the coast for Edinburgh. Good stuff. Let's have a look at the little shop there, see what they've got on there. Again, for brewery I've not actually heard of. Nicely established shop, lots of stuff on there, bit of merch. Colfin Bonnie. Death of Pith. Oh, you bassa. Come on then. Come on then. Brilliant. Taps off. Of course, you have a beer called Okay. You see, I'm British rather than Englishman. People would think I'm taking a piss when I do a Scottish accent, but I've got some Scottish heritage, so I feel able to do things like a Scottish accent without thinking I'm taking a piss, because I'm not, because I generally love Scotland. Never get up there enough, but yeah. It's not quite clear enough. Oh, Omnibus is a raspberry sour. Taps off lager. Some good stuff. Some good stuff looking nice on there. Hi, fair play, Studio. Always thanks for popping in. Slauncher and all that. Happy birthday. Yeah, got a couple of other beers to go, so yeah, all is available afterwards. Cheers, and have a good one, Stu. And yeah, as I've been blithering away, I'm going back to this. It's fairly nice. There was a slight drying note to it, but it doesn't go anywhere near grapefruit or nothing like that. Do bear with me a sec. The old schnozzer is always not playing ball. I've been standing out in the cold all day, obviously, up the brewery. Had a bit of a very surreal one at the brewery today. Good wassail day. Because we're on the farm there, we got a bunch of apple trees in the orchard. They always do. Sadly, didn't take any footage of it, but they always do wassail day, early January, to go and bless the fruit trees, appease all the spirits or whatever it is in the old kind of folklore. So there was a lot of singing and dancing, some folk music, and bizarrely, a bunch of toast soaked in cider tied to all the trees. I don't actually know the reason behind it. I should do a video of it really, but I was too busy on the bar. So yeah, I've been outside all day, so pretty cold. Had a couple of beers after work, and I got back and I thought, I know, let's go for it. I didn't line up, but I didn't know I was actually going to do it. But yeah, I got the Scottish beers lined up. So nice, gentle one. to start, 4.5% of Peely Wally. Nice. Solid. It's not even, for me, it's not even an IPA in taste. It's more of a pale ale because it's got that lighter note. It's got that kind of citrus going towards lemon, a little bit of sherbet lemon, but without the sherbety bit. And yeah, like I say, nice lacing on the glass, clung on well. What is the date? Didn't check that out, did I? It's been in there a while. Oh no, best before August 25. All good. Which means they've probably got 9 months to a year on it because I picked it up in October. So, but it holds up really nice. It's been in the cold all over winter, so it's not really lost anything. I don't know if it's lost any hop notes, and if it has, it's just got better because it's just gone down the line of that mostly lemony citrus. There's a little bit of pith in there as well, a slight orange pith almost. Or is it grapefruit? Yeah, it's more grapefruit pith rather than being out and out punchy grapefruit flavour. Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a citrus punch on the back end. Slight earthiness of the hops, but only very slight. But yeah, generally a nice little sup and a good introduction to the brewery. If all as good as that, a solid Winton Brewery, just outside of Edinburgh. And a beer called Peely Wally at 4.5% IPA. Cheers. Yeah, solid. A solid start. Got something a bit madder next up. So let's dive straight on into beer number 2, please. And yeah, beer number 2, not going to mess about. It is with probably one of the most well-known Scottish breweries. Again, staying in Edinburgh, just further into town. And it is, of course, near the middle of Vault City. There's a beer called Sugar and Spice Maple Pecan Pumpkin Pie. Now, I sort of love-hate relationship with Vault City because they do chuck a lot of ingredients at their beers, and they always look inviting. And then I see the line modern sour beer, and I'm not sure how I feel about that still. Some work, some don't. You know, you've got the big fruity numbers and a lot of sweetness to go with it. So I'm thinking this is, you know, fruity and sweet. I'd have been happier this being a pale ale, to be honest. I don't need it to be a sour beer necessarily, but I'm going to give it a go because I picked it up just before Christmas. Again, hasn't been, yeah, tick I've done, and then the photo because it pours out into the glass, really nice, almost carroty orange on first inspection, like a glass of carrot juice, or I suppose pumpkin. It's a very similar colour. Quite like the can art though, and I was easily tempted by the pumpkin. I didn't do pumpkin beers last year in the autumn. I often try to. I was trying to not to buy any more beers, so I didn't get the Pilgrim, the Abbeydale series, even though they brought out more. They brought out 3 different pumpkin beers, which is a shame. But I was trying to cut down, Your Honour. See, nice, fairly easy to photograph can art. Kind of matte label. And the beer looks good in the glass. Let's see what we can find though. Yeah. They use actual pumpkin. Well, that's the thing, because pumpkin itself, as we found out at Paravel this week or last year, when we did a pumpkin, pumpkin Hefeweizen. But pumpkin doesn't have a lot of taste. There's a sort of slight savouriness to it, a slight sweetness. Tommy Johansson, hello. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Have you got a beer on? Welcome along to Rasco Disco Beer Review, where I'll just review some beers and have a general chat. It's Burns night, so I'm doing Scottish beers tonight. Anybody else got any Scottish beers on? Yeah, let's have a sniff. Again, it would help if my nose was playing ball, but there was a slight fruitiness. It would be nice to be able to smell the beer that I'm going into, but I don't know. It smells a little bit more like sort of tangerine or something, or any of those kind of orangey, kind of small orange citrus fruits. Satsuma. Maybe it's just because of the colour. Oh, there's a little bit of caramel sweetness gone on there as well. Let's have a taste. Cheers. See, looking at that, I'm still thinking a big kind of juicy pale ale. That sour note, the modern sour beer, is possibly going to hit me. Anyway, let's launch out. Oh, there's a bit more smell there now. Yeah, I can smell that kind of maple kind of sweetness, bit of toffee in the pecan there as well. Slight nuttiness. Cheers. Oh my word. Oh, wow. Now that's not a, oh my gosh, as in a bad thing, to be fair. Um, that's that's not what it says on the tin. I've not seen this one about too much else, so I don't know how kind of popular it was or where it got out, but I picked it up from Paul up at Creative Juices. It was sitting there in the fridge, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to buy 6 beers, but yeah, that can be one of them. It tastes more like orange juice, or rather tangerine or satsuma. As I say, pumpkin doesn't really have that much of a taste. I don't quite know why it needs to be sour, but yeah, it's not a bad beer. It's just odd. It's yeah, it's orange. It's orange juice. Not necessarily a bad thing, to be fair. I'm just again, I was even more shocked than I imagined I was going to be, because I'm thinking maple pecan pie that it's going to be that kind of sweet toffee note bouncing off the sour, and it is definitely sour, a bit of tartness as well, but it's more orange, which is odd but not unpleasant. A little snore. Thanks for timing in. Have you tried Pribs Blah? Blah. Blah. Yeah. Yes, it is some Swedish going on in Prib stores. Well, there you go. You're not selling it, but fair play. Where's that from? I'm guessing Sweden. Looking at the accent over the A. And despite having been to Sweden, I couldn't tell you when I tried it because I don't remember what I was drinking. I was very drunk in Sweden. I was only there for the weekend. It was a good weekend, though. Oh no, I was less drunk on the way back in Malmo. It was a good weekend, nonetheless. Nice lacing on the beer on the first gulps as well. So solid beer. It's one I always say about sours. If I'm having a big session, I'll put a fruity sour away in the middle just to kind of level up a bit. A little bit of small adrenaline rush from the sour kind of perks up a little bit if you've been up on a few pints. But it just tastes like orange juice. It tastes like orange and mango juice. Which is odd because I had slept a glass of orange and mango juice for breakfast this morning. So it's not bad. I can't get any pie. Can't really get any pecan nuttiness. And can't even really get any maple particularly. There is a little bit of sweetness there around it. Like I say, it's still there on the aroma, but so is the orange. I just they can't have put the wrong beer in there. Maybe they've got some kind of orange sour. Again, not bad. There's a little bit of carbonation going on there. Can't see it on the haze, but nicely carbonated. It is nicely sweet, but there's no maple particularly. It's just, yeah, there's vitamin C orange sweetness. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has had this one. Mr. Wilson, David, have you seen this around at all? It's worth a try because, again, like Vault City is one I find really difficult because of that modern sour beer, and I haven't yet tried their stouts, their Imperial stouts. I have got one in. I could have tried, I think I've got at least 3 Vault City beers in today in the stash, and I tried this one today just because of the randomness of those ingredients. I like it, it's just odd, and it wasn't what I was expecting. It's not, I say, it's not been sitting there for any length of time. Wow. Best before date, 24th of the 9th, 2026. So I say, I only picked it up, I think, just before Christmas when I was visiting Paul up at Creative Juices. So it says here, sugar and spice, maple pecan, pumpkin pie. Our sweet, warming dessert sour is inspired by pumpkin and apple pie, topped with a dollop of whipped cream, maple drizzle, and a light dusting of pecans. A true autumnal sour for the season. So if it's pumpkin pie, why is there apple in it? I don't really get that. There is, I guess, a little bit of crisp. I'm going towards the orange. A small amount of crispness in there. Bear with. Yeah, open up the nasal passage a little bit and more of that sweetness comes through. Oh, you're not seeing it. Okay, sounds like wrong beer in can should get some of those. No, I don't think it is the wrong beer in a can. I think I don't know. I think it's just my palate going towards orange for some reason. As soon as I read the apple bit, I can see that with the tartness of kind of green apple. The sweetness comes then latterly halfway down the pint. That maple kind of coating on the lips comes through a lot more. So I can see where it's going. Let's have a look more and see what it is. See, ingredients: malted barley, apple. There's actually apple in it. Okay, apple, lactose, carrot. I did say carrot, didn't I? Pumpkin spice, pecan flavouring, hops and yeast. Can't be much in the way of hops in there. So it's actually got apple and carrot in it, which is I can see more now. Now I read that kind of what it's about. Again, the pumpkin doesn't really feature because pumpkin doesn't. In the few beers I've had a pumpkin, it's more of a sort of nod to fruit and savoury. The apple and the carrot in there probably adds more to the taste than the pumpkin does because they're a bit more pronounced kind of flavours. The sweetness is well in the background, but late into that swallow, there's that kind of slightly maple syrup, slightly honey kind of sweetness on the lips. It's perplexing is a word I often use about beers when I just don't quite see it, but this is perplexing in a good way because I don't get all those flavours. There's no, I mean, let's say a light dusting of pecan, and that is very, very light dusting of pecan. I mean, pecan nuts do have a distinct kind of sweetness and woodiness, I think. I don't dislike pecans. Yeah, a really interesting beer. But this is kind of what Vault City do, don't they? They sit there quietly in Edinburgh, banging loads and loads of adjuncts into the beer and bring out this madness. And it is utterly madness. It's only 5.5%. Could have got away with much higher on this one. Even the lactose in it doesn't really bring out a lot of sweetness for me. Oh, hello, kitty. Hello, cat. You can say hello to your adoring fans. Look. Look. Hello. There she is. Hey. You upset again because I won't sit down on the sofa. There's a nice soft cushion. Go and do the nice soft cushion and go to sleep. No, not up there. No. For fuck's sake again. No. We don't love you that much that you can destroy the place. Good. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Try not to get any trouble. Try not to wreck the gaff. Thank you, kitty. Hello, kitty. Yes. Yes, she puts an appearance every now and again just to ruin the place. Cats Go. Cats Go Disco. Could be the new name of the channel there. My co-presenter is Cats Go. Hey, you right with that, kitty? Good. You go sit over there and be quiet. That's a good one, though, David. I like that. Cats Go. Cats Go and Disco will be with you. It was a joke. The other day we was going to call. Yeah, my mate Chris was going to be co-presenter. It's going to be Chris Go and Disco. But there you go. Yeah, I'm still getting kind of orange or more tangerine and satsuma. But it's not a bad thing. Maybe that's what apple and carrot does. Goes towards orange and satsuma. Tangerine. I'm going to find a difference between a tangerine and a satsuma. But there you go. Yeah, anyway. But only 5.5%. It's an absolute smasher. And it is really nice. That kind of, for me, that kind of orangey tangerine note and a little bit of sweetness. The sweetness does kind of balance. It is balanced. But I like it. I like orange. It's just odd in a beer. Modern sour beers that they always say. Modern sour beer. It's a good one. It's just a bit perplexing. Don't mind that. I like to be challenged. I like doing something different. And if nobody else has seen this one, almost unique. But yeah, lots to talk about Vault City on the channel. Again, I haven't done a video on them. Probably should do, but I've reviewed a fair few of their beers. So yeah, I like this one. I don't know if I'd buy it again, but that's mainly because there's so many other of their stuff to look at. But if I saw it about and I was doing a session, I was mid-sesh, then yeah, it's a good one to put down mid-session. I like a sour beer halfway through just to like cleanse the palate, reset a little bit of almost shock value. Hey, here's the man himself. We talked about you earlier, Geordie. Thanks for popping in. Happy Burns night. Got some Scottish beers on the lineup. Got a Vault City here. From over the other side of the country to you, sir. From Edinburgh's Vault City. Really enjoying it. To be fair, sugar and spice. 5.5%. Look, I've messed up the banner. I didn't know you noticed that. Let's sort that out immediately. 5.5. 5.5% maple pecan pumpkin pie. Oh, fair play. Yeah, this one's not bad actually. Yeah, that's yeah, a bit unusual. Can't really get the maple that much, or the pumpkin, or even the pecan that much. But some good flavors, and yeah, really nice beer. That sweetness comes late on. It's a glass of orange juice, but a good glass of orange juice. Interlude. Yeah, as soon as I clear the nasal passages, I get that kind of maple sweetness through a little bit more, and maybe that if like a pastry like whatever your equivalent of Greg's is, mine's called Wenzel's, but you get that kind of market that pastry twist with some pecans on top, and you can just get that through. Now I've cleared the nasal passages. Gonna cleanse the palate for the next one because I'm going big with the third and final one. It's a beer that's been sitting in my stash for a long, long time, and I've not really been sure what to do with it. Should have done a video about it long before now. Yeah, but let's go on to beer number 3, please. Yeah, a big, big beer for a big, big finish. This has been sitting in my stash for, well, 3.5 years now, as you can possibly see, even from the banner. It is the 2021 edition of Nightmare of Cake from Drygate Brewery over in Glasgow. Located, I believe, right next to the Tennant's Brewery. It is 10% Imperial Milk Stout. I didn't realise it was a milk stout. I'm not sure about leaving milk stouts for that long, but I think I'm okay on the best before on this one. I'll have a look at it in a minute. Let's get into a glass and have a wee look at this one. Drygate is a brewery, certainly from 2020 onwards, that I picked up a lot of beers from. They do a beer called Disco Forklift Truck. That was kind of what got me onto them. But also, they do some pretty mad small batch beers and some really decent stouts. And I've had a couple of their Nightmare of Cake series before. They've always been pretty good. I bought this one specifically because it was chocolate Gateau. It's about £8 a bottle or something like that. For a 330ml bottle, that's a lot, but look at that, still plenty carbonation on that beer. Nice off, well, definitely tan coloured head. Not a lot on. It's going to dissipate fairly quickly, but it is there. I'm going to try and do the photo, but I don't think I'll get a very good one, but it's got to be done. So yeah, you see the problems I have with the light source. I've still got to get the light sorted out in this place. It's telling me to try night mode. It is night mode. Didn't work. Yeah, so Black Forest Gateau. I'm guessing a bit of cherry and a bit of chocolate, basically. I love a bit of cherry and a bit of chocolate. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Almost the Black Forest Gateau on the nose. Definitely a bit of cake in this. Nice. And some, yeah, alcohol legs on the lacing already. 10%. Cheers. I'm just going to get straight into this because I'm hoping this is going to be as good as I imagine it to be. Let's launch it. Oh. Oh, yeah. I haven't come with any Burns poetry tonight. Not going to do that Sonsia, the pudding race malarkey. That is poetry in a glass for me. It's a little bit carbonated, which is odd. So slightly too fizzy, but that dissipates really quickly in the mouth. Gives way to a, yeah, like a Kirsch. Like, have you ever had like cherry kirsch, a spirit? There's a little bit of that kind of barrel aginess going on. Uh, you can taste all of that 10%. You know, it's there. Really good sweet cherry. Now, I have this love-hate thing with Black Forest Gateau. I want it to be, if you get it from a supermarket, it's cheap cherries, so sweet cherries. Black Forest Gateau, Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte from the south of Germany, is meant to be sour cherries, and I don't really get that. I want sweet cherries. Um, yeah, cheers, Geordie. Oh, hello. Innocent Gun Lager, fair play. Solid enough. I don't I don't mind Innocent Gun. Again, I prefer the rum barrel age stuff. I've not really tried the lager actually. Chilling with a beer, so Saturday nights are four. Yeah, I love a good strong beer. Not a fan of cherry, so I wouldn't buy that one. We'll try it at a fest. Yeah, I don't understand. Not a fan of cherry. There's nothing not to be a fan of. It's just sweet and fruity. Each their own, of course. I'm joking. I'm joking, David. But yeah, no, I like cherry. Like I say, I have this love-hate relationship with it because I always want sweet cherries, glacier cherries almost, Kirsch rather than sour cherries. I want sweet cherries. I want cherries to be sweet and luscious and fruity and got that sweetness to it. This, because of all that chocolate in there, there is a chocolate cake note to it. It's thick, dark, oily, almost chocolate sponge consistency going on. So yeah, it's totally my thing. I haven't looked actually. I have to go back onto the website and see what they've currently got because I haven't picked up an order from Drygate in 2 years, and there used to be one I would always be looking out and seeing what they've got. So I imagine they do this every year. I might have to go onto the website in a minute and have a look. Yeah, it's so easy done. It's so easy to get cherries into that, at least tart, if not sour. This one, there's no tartness or sourness in this beer, as far as I can tell. It only comes up slightly tart because of the carbonation, the slight fizziness to it. Yeah, I like cherry beers. Strawberry, yeah, Geordie. I like strawberries. I probably like cherries more. Strawberry beers are funny, but you don't see them that much. Less so than cherry beers. And there's a whole argument about fruit in beers and whatever. Strawberry beers tend to be a bit not mainstream because strawberries are more mainstream fruit, I suppose. But yeah, you don't see that much of strawberry. So I'm much more of a fan of cherry, especially when it comes with cake. This is a glass of cake goodness. I haven't used that hashtag for a while. Off screen so you don't hear me clearing out the old nasal passages, and God knows my schnoz is big enough. There's a lot of it. It's because I want to smell the beer and taste the beer properly. Yeah, you're not wrong actually. I tend not to worry too much about temperature because I just want to drink the beer at whatever it is. So it'll warm. I know it's going to warm and get a thing. But agitating around a glass is giving it, as you say, that extra little bit of head on. I should have done that before I took the photograph. It's too late now. Have you had Death by Cherries beer by Tesco? Yeah, I think it's up here, isn't it? Oh no, I cleared it out. It's the location one, isn't it? Death by Cherries. Yeah, no, I had a little clear up at Christmas. It was sitting up there actually. I got that wrong. Oh, this one, that one. I don't know if you see it. Mad Dog. I remember I did Mad Dog last week at that Baltic Porter. That Black Forest pastry stout was my beer of the year in my beer of the year It was in my top 4 for beer of the year for 2020. I think it was my beer of the year. That is the ultimate Black Forest Gateau beer for me. Yeah. So reinvigorates that head a little bit, knocks a little bit of the carbonation out. Yeah, reinvigorated head. Black Forest pastry stout. See, I would probably think this is a pastry stout, but they've gone with just Imperial milk stout. There's a massive argument. Like I said with that Christmas pudding the other day, it got called a pastry stout. Not sure it is. Not sure what that term means particularly. For me, this is a kind of pastry stout because it's got that kind of chocolate gateau mouthfeel about it. It's got that cakey goodness. I used to use the hashtags cakey goodness and chocolatey goodness, and this has got both of those in abundance. I'm gonna have to go back and add them to the tags, I think, because yeah, for a beer that's been sitting in my stash for probably 3 years, about 10% is going to be right. Does not contain nuts. Best before end, June 2026. So yeah, and I bought it in 2021. What did I say this one was? Well, that's September 2026. So yes, very much in date. Didn't need to do it now. I could have left it till next next Burns night, but I thought I didn't have a lot else for Scottish beers. I had a Fierce beer, a little Fierce beer can, but I'd already picked one small can, so and that was the Chipotle stout. Chipotle? Do we say Chipotle or Chipotle? I say whichever one comes to mind first, to be honest. Oh. Oh, guys, he doesn't mind a bit of sourness. Love the sour beers. Yeah, I don't mind it, especially Vault City. Some I find too sour. I think Vault City do claw back the sourness quite well with a lot of sweetness and a lot of adjunct. So, Disco 2025, all about the in-date beers. Trust me, I won't be because there's still quite a few in the stash. I've got one planned for next week, and I think there's a couple that are out of date. And I've been meaning to do these videos for ages, so I'm going to do them live instead. So I think there's a couple of out of date beers. I treat best befores as kind of nominal, to be honest. They are sort of a lot of beer. They don't just immediately go mouldy. So yeah, I don't think this year is going to be the year of Disco doing all in date beers. In fact, I think I've already done 1 or 2 out of date. Here we go again. Here we go. So yeah, having an ongoing argument whether it's Chipotle or Chipotle. It's spelt Chipotle, so that's how I say it. But sometimes I say Chipotle. Yeah, but that's a Fierce beer one I've got in there, so I'll save that for another time. And then my eye has suddenly gone mental. Yeah, let's have a quick look at. I like to look at the websites of breweries, basically the way of information as much as anything else. I love promoting Drygate because I haven't done so for a while. I haven't seen them for a while. It used to be really heavy on the socials, and it would always pop up in my stream, mostly on Twitter as was, but I haven't really been doing stuff on Twitter for a long time. So oh, hang on, we seem to have gone seized up again. Can't remember how I resolved it last time. Let's see if this works. So as long as you can still hear me, Oh no, that's worked. Just shock it into actually working. There you go. Please confirm you're over 18. What do we think? Am I over 18? Yeah, probably. Yeah, so they've gone much more, obviously, after COVID. They've gone back to drinking at their tap room up there in Glasgow. Do a lot of comedy nights, entertainment, that kind of thing. I do want to try that Kelvin Pilsner. Just because it does look decent. Right, there we go. Nightmare of Cake. So this is last year's. It's just an Imperial Milk Stout for the 10th birthday. Wow, I completely missed that one. So, no adjuncts. All the other ones, I think, have been fairly heavily adjuncted. Thus, only at 9.6% there. Well, there you go. Not even sure you can actually buy that one. This is my beer from Drygate. This was my beer of the year, I think 2021. In fact, the double version of this was just an absolutely award-winning breakfast stout, coffee, chocolate. Not so much vanilla for me, but with the oats and the lactose in it, solid. I've been drinking that beer for way before I've been doing beer reviews online. I used to pick it up in Sainsbury's on the way home for football trips. If you've got a Sainsbury's near a station, that was my going home from football beer, train beers for a long time, certainly since about 2016, because I love a stout, I love a milk stout. That was a fabulous beer. I say they did get it into 440s as well. So, this is what I wanted to try. Check this out. A brew from the terrace, beef and beer. Now I think Northern Monk tried something similar with their gravy. A love letter to the cult favourite BBC Scotland show A View from the Terrace. The limited edition, bold and beefy, made with real Bovril, is Drygate's most experimental creation yet. Yes, I should say so. So the 5.2% stout with Bovril. Now, I don't like Bovril, can't stand Bovril. What about you guys? Are you up for trying that? There you go. Yeah, big and beefy. So Bovril stout. I don't know about that. I would try it. I think it's must. I mean, I like their stouts. I like Drygate stout, so it's probably got that kind of chocolate coffee stout note, but with a bit of savoury beefiness. I'm not sure about it, but yes, why not? Why not? Like I say, Northern Monk did a similar thing just before Christmas with gravy. Dickie's Beer Reviews. Good evening to you. Thanks for popping in. What you drinking? What you got on? I got PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Fair play. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. So that's big and beefy from Drygate. I'm so very tempted to put a sneaky order in for that. And maybe that Nightmare Cake. Drygate X. I haven't seen that one. Let's have a look. Malt whiskey barrel aged stout. Fair play. 10.3%. Imperial brown stout aged in a Highland malt whiskey cask. A very grown-up beer, brewed and barrel-aged to mark our first decade of Drygate. Okay, so yeah, I should be onto this, and I can't believe I wasn't last year. Yeah, 10.3%, solid. Again in 330s, so £8, but yeah, worth £8 of anybody's money, most likely. And then we go into the more core stuff. Oh, hang on a minute. Before we do the core stuff, let's look at something else special. What's that? Oh, no, it's not. But 4.8% cold style beer with elderflower and lemon. So an elderflower lemon lager to be paired with Fable's blended malt Scotch whiskey. Very interesting. This cold style beer features elderflower to add to the subtle floral character and lemon peel to accentuate the hint of citrus from the hops. Delicate, soft, and balanced, this beer has been designed to pair perfectly with Fable's blended malt Scotch whiskey. So, like, So like a whiskey and lemon, but with beer. So like, yeah, so like a lager top with a whiskey chaser. Insane, insane, but only 4.8%. Well, I'd try it. But yeah, there's their disco forklift truck and the double version, the double disco, which wasn't quite as good, I don't think. And I haven't had disco forklift truck for a while. It used to be another train beer on the way to football because you get it at Sainsbury's. Uh, the Gladeye, I think that's misnamed. The Gladeye IPA. It should be called Gladeye PA, surely. Haven't tried the Seven Peaks or the lager. Mainly, I'm used to go towards their mad stuff, really. Why is that doubled up? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, that's very tempting. If that's still there next month, I was adamant I wasn't going to do any beer orders this month. Better than beer mongrel. Yes, Bovril beer. Yeah, there you go. Drygate down in Glasgow. Easy to find, mate. I tell you what, pick one up. Pick one up, and next month, if you want, we'll do a dual review on that. I'll get an order in first week of February for that if you want, if you fancy that, Geordie. How about that? You try Bovril beer? There you go. So Beer Mongrel used to make amazing stouts. Yes, they did. Still make some good beers. Well, yeah, probably the hello. Sorry, do you not like me talking about beer? Tough cat. Yeah, so I love Drygate. Been drinking their beers for some time. Probably don't feature them enough as I used to. But yeah, solid stuff coming out there. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted now to go and have a look at that Bovril beer. That sounds nuts. Maybe. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, let me know, man. Yeah. So it should be fairly easy for you to get by there, but I'll have to get an order down. I've got another plan for my first order for this year, unless I see any other disco beers. But yeah, Cat heard beef. She heard beef. Come for a look at the bottle. I'm sorry, kiddie. Hey, sorry, I'm talking to all these lovely people on the internet about beer, and all you want is lap time. I know, bless you. It won't be long, because to be fair, this beer, despite it being 10%, it's going down so quickly. I'm trying to pad it out. Less on the less now on the dark cherry, less on the black forest. It's more all about chocolate, dark malts. Less even on the black forest. No, there's the cherry. Pops up again right at the end of it. It's yeah. I also always struggle about reviewing beers that are no longer commercially available because I want to do a beer and have people go, oh, I'd like to try that. Like you guys have just done, fair play. I've already done that. So you can't try this one. This might even be the last bottle in existence because it's not. It's a special beer, but it's not like, I don't know, unless you're a fan of Drygate and would have got that and just aged it. I've kind of accidentally aged it because I bought it in 2021 and I wanted to drink it. I should have bought two. In fact, did I? Do you know what? I'm suddenly thinking I did do this beer. It's going to take me a long while to find on Instagram. So I think I did. I think I did have two of these. I did one on Instagram. So I'm going to go back and have a look. Not now. It takes too long to find on Instagram. The more and more stuff you put on Instagram, the harder and harder it is to find stuff. And I only used to put stuff on Instagram, so I'd go back and look at beers and see what I thought of them. But there was, again, several iterations of cake. So it might have been the 2020 version of cake that I did on Instagram. Might even have been the 22, to be fair. All the last 5 years are somewhat melded into one another for me in my head anyway. I wonder if I put Oxo Cube in my beer, it would taste the same as the Bovril beer. I'll try the Bovril beer first, to be fair. And yes, no, it wouldn't. It would just taste. Well, I don't know about that Bovril beer because I don't like Bovril. I love gravy, but I don't like Bovril. Go figure. But I do put Bovril, like if I'm cooking, and I want to literally beef something up a bit, I will use Bovril. But spreading Bovril on toast or whatever, or just a drink of Bovril, doesn't really work for me at all. We'll give it a go. Again, that'd be quite a good that'd be quite a good video or live stream. How to recreate gravy beer or beef beer. I'm not going to try it. Yeah, Oxo beer, man. Give it a go. Use a Guinness. Yeah, not a fan of Bovril. I don't know. Bovril and Marmite, I don't get because Marmite is like a yeast extract drink, but I can't stand it. It's just too malty for me. I want to be able to taste the malts rather than it just tasting of malt. Yeah, not a big fan. Did it a lot of football matches. I used to. I was too busy on the beer, so I never really had a half-time Bovril. Might work with a Guinness and Oxo Cube. Yeah, I can't see it. I mean, I love the savoury and sweetness, but yeah, I can't see it. But I will support you if you do that if you do that video, I'll watch from afar with enjoyment. But I will try the Bovril beer from Drygate just because it's Drygate. Oh, here we go again. I started not able to. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, for 10% Imperial milk stout, it's been sitting in my stash for 4 years. It's probably not quite 4 years. So I probably got it kind of mid 21, but it's got 5 year best before on it. So it's beautiful. It's really drinkable. It's one I'm not going to smash it down. It is dangerously drinkable for 10%. If you like that kind of sweetness, and I always say I haven't found a stout that's too sweet for me yet. But yeah, talking of which, yeah, I want to try that Marmite beer, but didn't get around to ordering it. Don't know if it's still. No, I think it was one of them. That was that Camden one, and I kind of refused to do it at first. I'm not a big fan of Camden. I've got a video there. In fact, yes, I will link to that in the corner. Once after the event when I edit it, yeah, I said I wouldn't do the Marmite beer, but I did eventually do a can of Marmite beer. They cheated slightly by just putting some slightly smoked malts in, so I don't know how much Marmite actually went into that beer. And it'd be interesting if I do try that Drygate one, whether it's just a bit of like Bamberg malt, so you get that kind of slightly smoky barbecue savouriness rather than actual beef. A weird one I heard of and tried is gin in Guinness. It works well. Amazing flavour. One shot of gin. See, I don't know anything about gin because I don't like, generally don't like tonic water. So I've never had a gin and tonic. Sorry, I don't drink gin and tonic. I have had a gin and tonic, but I don't like gin. I don't like tonic. Gin and lemonade, fair enough. And in fact, at the brewery in the summer, we do like a lemon soda made up of lemon balm grown on the farm. Put it in, spritz it up, bit of sugar, carbonate it, and then we put it with gin. So I like that. But yeah, gin in general, I don't really drink. Gin's got them kind of tannins to it, weird tannins. So I don't know how that would work with Guinness. I'll give it a go. You know. What's your mate? Did he do cool? I love Marmite, so I didn't get to try the stuff. Yeah, I don't know how popular it was, but everybody went and tried it, and I think it was in the supermarkets for a while. So yeah, shame you didn't get to. I don't think they're still doing it. So at some point, a brewery will try to do it again, and I think the next best thing will be that Drygate one. To be honest, yeah, I've not heard of gin and Guinness. That's odd. Well, if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Fair play. Guinness is a thing that you can put pretty much any amount of other liquid spirits or whatever in. Yeah, you didn't miss a lot. It was interesting, but like I say, they basically cheated. I think it was just it was similar to a smoky German lager because they used some slightly smoky malts. I don't know how much Marmite actually went in it, uh, and maybe amped up the malts a little bit and some yeast kind of notes. But yeah, you probably didn't miss a lot. But if you don't like Marmite, I don't like Marmite. I kind of enjoyed it. It was okay, I think. I have to go back and see what I said about it actually. But yeah, there was literally no end to the amount of stuff you can put in a beer. I think that sort of yeah. I like the slightly more traditional ingredients of like, oh, let's have a look. Did we say that? Did we have a look? Let's have a look on here. No, we said, doesn't it? What does it say? Uh, Nightmare of Cake almost sounds fun. Well, it is. It was very fun. Well, truth be told, it's a fucking disgrace. Don't know about that. Made from chemicals by sick bastards, this dark beer is loaded with cherry, cacao nibs, marshmallow, coconut, and a touch of natural peanut butter flavouring. That makes sense. That's like an oxymoron. Peanut butter flavouring. Surely it's just peanut butter. Anyway, I have this big thing when they say natural flavourings. Well, just tell us what they are. Oats, rye, and lactose add body, texture, and sweetness to this obscene of velvety, bittersweet Imperial Stout. I think in 21-22 it would have been velvety. I think it's less velvety now. I've left it. Doesn't make it terrible. Um, this beer marks another year of Drygate Brewing Co. So it's their birthday cake series, basically. We hope you enjoy it. I did Drygate. Thank you very much, and I'm still enjoying it. I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. You big custard gannet. You. I love their humour as well. Drygate, superb. We've been making beer in the historic heart of Glasgow since 2014. We brew with open doors and open minds. We believe good beer can come from anyone and anywhere. Collaboration within our community is at our core. We love showcasing creators of beer, food, art, design, music, comedy, poetry, and more. They're just really nice people, I think, by the sound of it. Um, I've interacted with them a couple of times, again, back in the day. But yeah, yeah, it's just a big beer to celebrate their birthday, and it's beautiful. It really is. Uh, Tried Marmite popcorn from Joe and Seth. Very intense Marmite taste. That sounds horrific. Way back in the day, I was around that beer actually. I was able to curate a Marmite hamper for a close personal friend who wanted to get as many Marmite flavours as he could. So yeah, I've seen Marmite popcorn. I've seen Marmite chocolate. In fact, Guinness do, I think, a Marmite chocolate. Marmite crisps, obviously. All sorts of Marmite. Pretty much you can put Marmite on anything, really. It's easy to find. Lynx Marmite deodorant. Yeah, I didn't bother with that one. Exactly. Marmite, everything. Yeah, Marmite crisps are a good beer because they're basically made of beer. It's that kind of savoury, that Marmite, that kind of umami savoury flavour. I don't mind that. I just don't like Marmite itself. Yeah, because it's made from. I don't know how. I'm sure there was an inside the factory, Greg Wallace program that said about how they make Marmite from beer, and I should know really, being beer adjacent, but I don't because I don't like Marmite. But yeah, yeah, you can pretty much Marmite anything really. You probably have Marmite candles that actually smell of Marmite. Don't understand that. Anyway, as always, drinking Scottish beers. I've had a brilliant lineup of Scottish beers tonight. I'm going to go and just sit on the sofa and actually appease the kitty and let her sit on my lap and just generally enjoy the last of this 10% beer from Drygate in Glasgow. Here's a beautiful roundup for Burns Night. Celebrates their birthday. Yeah. Black Forest Gateau Imperial Milk Stout from 2021. What a brilliant end to the night. Yeah, really enjoyed this genteel look at Scottish beers on Burns Night. And there was no poetry involved whatsoever. Not that poetry's not great, I'm sure it is, but yeah, I'm just all about the beer. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining in, chipping in with your comments. If you're watching this after the event, please put your comments below. Click the like and subscribe buttons because it's free and the algorithm loves it. And as always, yeah, cheers and enjoy the beers. Happy what's left of Burns Night. Click back for the next one. Might do one tomorrow, or if not, probably Monday for Monday Club. Yeah, cheers, guys. Dave Wilson, as ever, thanks for popping in. I see you and the cat. Yeah, she's gone to sleep now, bless her. Yeah, cheers, Geordie. Thanks for popping in. It's good to have some actual Scotsmen on a Scottish Nights theme for Burns Night. Also, Stu from the Lagerlogs popping in earlier as well. Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much. Cheers. And enjoy the beers. Have a great weekend. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Let me find the outro and we're done. Cheers all. I'm in Disco, a Rasco and Disco beer review live from what I'm still delightfully calling the Disco Arms. Cheers and have a good one. Bye.